Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Gaming Droid, and welcome back to Free Trial, where I take a look at free-to-play games and just give you my opinions of them. And I'm trying to open up and show you that there are lots of different games free-to-play, all sorts of different styles and levels. So this is a game that basically I have been challenged to do a video on. It's a short little game called Without Within, and it looks at a young artist's experience giving up their art. It's by a company called Invert Mouse, or by a group called Invert Mouse. The artist for the visual novel was someone called Kayla Featherstone, and I'm going to pronounce this name wrong, and I apologise thoroughly for this. The music was composed by Aoife Tozan. I think that's how you pronounce it, Aoife Tozan. I apologise for getting that wrong. The music already on the opening screen is beautiful. This is the free-to-play version. There is an upgraded version available as well, which is how they've monetized this. You can play the novel free-to-play, but you can also play the upgraded version. So, I have also been challenged to read the text for you and do my best voice acting impression. Okay, it's a voice acting impression, it's because I'm pretending I know how to voice act. So let's begin. Vinty, 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 Vinty! The chants of my fans echo through the door in front of me. One of my two bodyguards wrapped his hand around the doorknob. Please prepare yourself, Miss Vinty. Once I open this door, we'll head straight for our little. The guard had no reason to fret. I had long since grown used to these crowds. Still I nodded to put him at ease. After taking a deep breath, he pushed the door open. A crowd of hundreds raised their cameras as soon as I stepped out. My guards waved their arms to shoo them away. This red carpet was for me to walk on after all. I blew a kiss for these starstruck peasants. Miss Vinty, please, let's hurry. Oh, whoops, that's the bodyguard. Miss Vinty, please, let's hurry, my bodyguard said. Too bad for him, I strutted along like a model on a catwalk. A group of reporters managed to worm through the crowd. They now tiptoed over my guards, in hopes of scoring that exclusive. Vinty, how does it feel to have won another Calligrapher of the Year award? A reporter asked me. Before I could answer, another dozen people shouted over each other, hoping for my attention. Vinty, may I get a photo with you? Can you sign some autographs for my kids? And 2 for me, of course. Ah, I can't believe I'm standing this close to Vinty. My fans stamped their dirty shoes all over the red carpet. Finally, my bodyguards pulled out their pepper spray to keep these fans in check. A young male reached in my direction despite having a spray aimed at his face. Rather admirable for a peasant. I extended my hand for this male fan to kiss. Unfortunately for him, he fainted at the sight of my perfectly polished nails. I reached my limousine at last. My bodyguard opened the door for me, and as I climbed in, my trailing fans snapped as many photos as they could. Miss Vinty, Miss Vinty, the crowd chanted as the car pulled up. Car window pulled up. Car window pulled up. Car window went up. That's an odd phraseology there. How odd they never referred to me as Miss. Oh, my graceful presence must have been too much for their sanity, these poor things. Miss Vinty, Miss Vinty. Huh? Oh. Well, I had fun while it lasted. At least I got to ride in a limousine for a good 30 seconds. In real life, my only registered vehicle was, well, my 10-year-old bicycle. My apartment had no space for a car anyway. Actually, this single room with a cracked wall might be an insult to the word apartment. Pull up those curtains for a spectacular $1 view, featuring a sewage pipe, a wall tainted with yellow. Just open the window if you wish to smell the sewage as well. A breathtaking experience. By the way, sorry, I needed to take back the one-room thing. The place actually has 2 rooms, thank you very much. The second room happened to be a toilet. Still, counted, right? The toilet clogged 3 times a month, so be careful when using it. Miss Vinty, Miss Vinty, a woman's voice echoed from outside, but it was no fan, but rather my landlady. I glanced over at the clock. 6 a.m. Waiting another hour or 2 would have been nice. She probably just wanted to tell me about another rent rise, Nothing good ever came out of that woman's mouth. I'd be better off staying in bed. See, I'm gonna go with what I would do, and the thing is, the moment I wake up, I get out of bed. I can't stay in bed when I'm awake. I find it unpleasant. I don't even like sitting on the bed to read. I don't like being in bed. So, rise and shine. Coming! As I changed into something more appropriate, the landlady was still kept knocking. I said I was coming, didn't I? Maybe I should walk out naked, if that was what she dug. Again, strange phraseology. I'm assuming the person who wrote this doesn't have the same colloquialisms as me. If this were a game, we might get a sale boost too. Oh, okay, different voice. Good morning, Miss Vinty, the landlady said. I must ask, what's with that hair? Looks like you just woke up. That's because I did. It's a waste for young ladies like you to sleep away your youth. The landlady shook her head. She had no right to preach to me like this. I wanted to tell her, but decided against it, as doing so would give her an excuse to lecture me further. With her size, if I enraged her, she would squash me into Vinny-flavoured pancake. Miss Vinty, your rent is due 3 days ago. Oh, well, at least there was no rent increase. Sorry, madam. My next paycheck will come after tonight's shift, so I'll pay you first thing tomorrow morning. The landlady grunted. All right. Just know that if it keeps up, you'll have to find somewhere else to live. She spun around to leave. Once she disappeared behind the corridor, I kicked the door shut, causing a piece of my cracked wall to fall off. I tried to shove the piece back into place. My effort resulted in more wall fragments flaking off. See, it would have been nice if they'd animated that there, and just had them fall off. Just little bits coming off. Well, not even animated, it just had the scene change. So as those text boxes flipped past, you just had the bits of wall coming off. Great, the landlady would make me pay rent for the next month. Once I became an accomplished calligrapher, she would beg for a chance to shine my shoe. Hey, I sounded a bit ranty before, but that was never my intention. A lot of famous people had humble beginnings. I would follow in their footsteps, but first I needed to put in the work. Transition scene. And so I returned to the busiest street in my area. With my calligraphies spread before me, I sat on the concrete and rested my back against the fence. Car horns blared behind me, mixed with people shouting things about each other's mothers. These cars kept expelling fumes that made me choke. Just one of the many things I dealt with in the name of art. Pedestrians took up almost every inch of space on the street ahead. Surely it would be the day when somebody spotted my talent. As always, no one afforded me anything more than a passing glance, and my will soon dwindled. Let me be honest, I never expected to be showered with praise, but every head who passed here... What was that old saying? 10% of people you reach out to will buy your work? I could live with that, even just 1%. Please? Anything but 0. I wanted to scream at these people. They had no idea how much sweat I poured into these calligraphies. Again, going with me, I'm a very restrained person, so I'm going to persevere. I decided to keep these displeasures to myself. People often said patience would be rewarded. I wonder if my patience would ever become worthwhile. Just as I thought this, a man paused to look at my calligraphies. He had a bucket of fried chicken in his hand. The smell made my mouth water. Oh, chicken. See, this girl is definitely me. I love fried chicken. As the man eyed my works one by one, I felt my cheeks heating up from anticipation. At least someone who spared more than a moment with my works. This must be rewarded. The timing could hardly be more perfect. I summoned the courage to speak to the man, but he spoke first. You're charging for these? I managed a tiny nod. The man snorted. I would never hang these on my wall even if you gave them to me for free. Seriously. This is the most shameless display I've ever seen. Trolls online were one thing. Confronting one in real life was a rarity. Judging from the man's scrawny arms, I bet I could overpower him with ease. Oh god, she's definitely me. Then I would know just how big of a blunder he had made. You see, I would think about it, but I probably wouldn't. But at the same time, I'm gonna smack him one. I crunched up one of my calligraphies and rose. The man must have sensed my violent intent as he backed a step and shielded his face with the bucket of chicken. I threw a punch at him before he could flee into the crowd. My fist connected with the side of his head. That marked the first time I'd ever hit someone. My knuckles hurt from the blow, but seeing the guy's dropped jaw made it worthwhile. He probably grew up this way because nobody ever dared to punish him. A couple of pedestrians popped in and held me back from attacking the man further. I squirmed against their grips, but gave up as my anger waned. Once my breathing returned to normal, the civilians loosened their hold and I brushed myself free. I'll remember this. The man fled for the train station, eating another piece of chicken as he did. I hoped he choked on it. The next morning someone knocked on my door and I checked the clock. 5 a.m. When would the landlady cut me a break? Miss Vinty, it's the police. I cut my hand over my mouth, as if keeping quiet would make the police go away. They must be here to ask me about the assault yesterday. That guy I punched was nothing but talk. I should have let him ramble. God knew what would befall me now. I prayed I would at least be spared a jail sentence. Tears streaked down my cheeks as I buried myself under the blanket. This had to be nothing more than a bad dream. Bad ending. Okay, so I think I will stop there for the video. The music is gorgeous. I'm going to shut up for a second, guys, and just let you listen to the intro music. I love that music. That music is absolutely beautiful. So compliments to the person whose name I completely butchered, Ifan Tozan. Ife Tozan. And the artwork is beautiful as well. So compliments to Kayla Featherson as well. I think that was her name. But it's a free visual novel with a paid-for option, which is a nice idea. I think probably some of the options and some of the choices are probably locked out and only available in the paid-for option for the support. I think it's a really well structured one. The writing's quite interesting. Some of the colloquialism's a little bit off, but that's probably just because of different locations. And it's beautiful artwork and quite sort of chibi and cute, which is something I'm into. So this is Without Within by Invert Mouse Studios. And thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.